This is CW Sports.
There's nothing like a comeback. Mind versus moment. Just you and a belief. Acing sports' toughest test.
Does hard work pay off? Yes, it does! And a champion in Illinois!
Resilience and the will to win. A signature of the last two Illinois Classics.
There had to be days that he wondered if he could ever do this again at a high level. And the answer is a resounding and loud yes.
Does the land of Lincoln have a third straight comeback in store? The stage is set for the 2026 Illinois Classic. It's Championship Sunday on the CW.
And what a week it's been. Last week, Anthony Simson versus Patrick Dombrowski. And it came down to the very last frame to determine the winner of the U.S. Open when number one seed Anthony Simson left a 7-10 split on the very last ball to lose by 2 pins. Well, all right, let's fast forward a week. And Simo, once again, is number one. But he's joined on the stepladder by last year's winner of this event, Tahvanainen, the number one bowler in the world in E.J. Tacket, and two-time title winners in Maldonado and Matt Ogle. And speaking of two-time title winners, yeah, that's right, this guy right next to me, a two-time title winner in Kyle Sherman. I'm Rick Allen. Okay, a week ago, we talked about how Simo felt at home when we were in Indianapolis and at those lanes. He looks like he's at home here at Victory Lanes in Decatur.
Yeah, I mean, to lead a PBA tournament is one thing. To be able to do it 2 weeks in a row in completely different environments. I mean, last week was the U.S. Open. It was different patterns. It was shot making. It was grinding. This week, much higher scoring. You really had to string strikes together. But Simo, man, he just figures out a way to do it, and that's why he's him.
He is right now the number one seed. All right, let's take a look this week at our Bowl TV highlights. Anthony Simson in early round qualifying here at the Groupon Illinois Classic. Yes, that's right. Faced a bit of deja vu. He had rolled 11 straight strikes and needed one more strike for a perfect 300. Well, he left the 710. Take a look at his numbers this week. Qualified first, over 240 average. He had the bye in the round of 24. He defeated Brandon Runk in the round of 16 and then took down the Hall of Famer in Bill O'Neill in the round of 8. Let's listen to the number one bowler here today. He's standing by with Laneside reporter Taryn Hatcher.
Yeah, that's right, Rick. So top seed last week, and I know that you felt good, but it didn't end the way you wanted to. Back at number one again. How were you able to shake it off and come back in on top?
My biggest thing that I've tried to do throughout my career is keep each week as its own. Last week was a very good week. I'll take second any day of the week. So got to take a little adventure to go check out the Born to Bowl premiere, and now I've had a great week and looking forward to bowling one good game and seeing what happens. And
it seemed like yesterday when we talked to you, you're having fun here in Decatur this week. How are you feeling just mentally coming into this one?
I'm probably having way too much fun considering we're bowling a professional event, but no, it's been a good time. The staff here has been great. I'm looking forward to putting on a good show today.
No such thing as too much fun. Thank you for the time, Simo.
Thanks.
Thank you, Taryn. As we look at the first match, and it's Maldonado and Matt Ogle. This is actually a replay of what happened in their match of round of 8. And so look here and listen to these bowlers.
From Houston, Texas. The best thing about Texas is everything's big in Texas, and there's always something to do.
I'm Matt Ogle. I reside in Louisville, Kentucky, and when I'm not bowling on tour, I work my lawn care business for about 8 months out of the year.
Yeah, that's right. Lawn care business. He told us he does 60 lawns a week, and he does it by himself.
Yeah, unbelievable. I guess that keeps him busy in his downtime. Matt Ogle stepping up. First frame. Let's see how he starts.
Beats the 10 pin. And for Matt Ogle, he was the number 5 seed. So the higher ranked or the higher seeded player gets to determine who goes first in that left lane. So Maldonado chose that Matt would go first on that left lane. career appearance number 5 for Ogle on TV. And he picks up the spare. So now it's Sean Maldonado's turn on the lanes. He'll start in the right lane. The 39-year-old, a 14-year veteran on the tour. Almost had that fall.
Yeah, you're going to see a few hands raised now, Rick. One way to start a show by leaving a 5-pin.
There they are.
That's going to be an expensive round today. We got a packed house here.
I think they put your credit card
on
file.
Oh, no.
And he'll pick it up. So both bowlers start with a spare in the first frame. Does that get the nerves out? Like, okay, we both spared, we're good to go now.
Yeah, basically all even after 2. No harm done now. Both of them got those first shots out of the way. We can now relax. Here we see Sean Maldonado using a purple pearl urethane, basically urethane ball. You see the hook rating over there. That hook rating basically means how much the ball hooks in general. This purple urethane, lower on that spectrum. He has a lot stronger balls, but right now Maldy's going for control over power. You're going to see, as you can see here, throwing the purple hammer right between the second and third arrow. He's not shaping the lane a whole lot. He's going to use this strategy early, but later in the day, and the other players we see today, they're going to opt to move left. And you're going to see some really big angles and really big hook.
All 5 bowlers are right-handed. We have 4 two-handed bowlers, and then Tacket is the solo one-handed bowler. Some people had some fun with social media earlier this week. They put together looked like a band, Tacket and the two-handers.
Yeah, he's the one-handed hope this week for everyone rooting for them one-handers out there. And you can see Ogle there playing a little left of 4th arrow, already getting in deep. That's what these guys are going to be doing today. Ogle throwing the hammer effector. This ball is a solid asymmetrical bowling ball. It's middle of the road. It's giving them some control early. Later, you might see these guys go to some pearl bowling balls that hook a little more down lane.
Go.
He talked it into a strike there.
Great shot there by Ogle. And here's a number that you want to pay attention to today. It's the rev rate, the RPMs. Today's show, again, all about power, all about revolutions. These guys, some of the biggest strike balls on tour. That rev rate number is going to be well above the 500s all day today. You can see Maldy staying toe-to-toe with Ogle early here. And 2 completely different strategies. Maldy's going up the lane, keeping his angles more in front of him. We can see here with the little hop at the end. And Ogle's electing to hook it a little bit more. I mean, this is bowling. This is strategizing.
You see the tournament format, how they got here. 22 games of qualifying. The top 24 advanced. The top 8 got a bye. First round of match play. We see another strike there for Maldonado. And then they did the round of 16 and the round of 8 to determine who the 5 bowlers would be. And when I said this is a rematch, these 2 guys were bowling to find out who would make it into the show. Ogle was the higher rated bowler. He was a higher seeded bowler. And so ultimately when he got beat by Maldonado, he was locked into the show because he was the highest rated or highest seeded bowler that had not locked himself in.
Go.
And another strike. So the nerves out of the way in the first frame, and both bowlers have struck since then. We take a look at that round of 8 and who they defeated on their way in.
Yeah, you talk about the match between Ogle and Sean. Game 7, Maldy came back from a 3-1 deficit. Absolutely crazy. Santu beat fellow Finn native Tomas, and that gave him a little bit of confidence. And then you got Simo and EJ just kind of rolling through their opponents. But Ogle here, 43-foot Carmen Salvino pattern. There's a little high scoring. There's a little hook to the right, a little hold in the middle of the lane.
Oh, no.
And that's the hold right there.
Yeah.
You heard him say, oh no. Well, he didn't like that shot, but there's a lot of hold, and that means that the ball will hold its line in the pocket. And you can see right there, he knows he got away with it. He's looking at the strike tracker like, how in the heck did that happen?
I always say, oh no, after I release it, but it doesn't normally end up with a strike. Maldonado quickly on the way. And he'll continue the strike pattern. If any of the pros on today's show bowl a perfect game, everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To pre-register, visit gobowling.com, and you can sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion.
Yeah, Rick, we watched the top seeds practice on this pair before this match started, and they were actually breaking down the lanes together, throwing a little bit of surface to the right, throwing some plastic balls in the middle of the lane to what we call stretch the pattern to make it a little bit easier. So we should be seeing some high scores today.
And he gets the 7 to go. And another strike for Maldonado. So the two are mirroring each other. They start with a spare, and they have struck ever since then. Who's going to be the first to move up a rung of this stepladder final here in Decatur, Illinois? Stay with us here on the CW. The PBA on the CW is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. Quote today at progressive.com. And yeah, that's a 21-year-old Abraham Lincoln, honest Abe. He came through this area of Illinois. Got Millikan University located here in Decatur. They dedicated that statue to the 16th President of the United States. Back here at David Small's Victory Lanes for the Groupon PBA Illinois Classic. Yeah, that's right. Groupon helping to turn regular days into something fun with local experiences and things to do at unbeatable values. We saw DJ James Jackson here getting the crowd up. Maldonado just did a little strike action there. Let's take a look. You mentioned the Carmen Salvino 43. Talk us through it.
Yeah, Rick, the pattern today, higher scoring, Carmen Salvino, 43 feet. If you look down lane, the rangefinders at the end of them, that's going to be around the 43 foot. You're going to see guys try to get their ball right here down lane. Now, Maldi, he's going to be between second and third arrow, getting into the pocket, little straighter, but most of the guys are going to be inside fourth arrow, creating big angles, big hook, because today, again, is all about power and rev rate.
All right, it is Ogle's turn back up. When he started this tournament in qualifying, he started with like a 160-something game and was so frustrated with himself. He texted his wife and, was like, I just don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's happening here. And Taryn, his wife, responded, and maybe a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah. His wife texted him and said, quote, "You're the only one that knows what's best for you. I'll support you, whatever you do. Got to get your mind right, though." And he said that first game, he almost wanted to give up, but it released almost a pressure valve for him, and it let him play more free. After that, he bowled a 240 and a 290 in the games following that. So it seems it did, in fact, relieve a little pressure.
Thanks, Sherman. Oh, he's going to leave the 4-7.
Yeah, it goes to show, Rick, out here it's such a grind, and it's so hard to stay consistent week to week. As you see Ogle here getting the ball pretty close to where he wanted to down lane. This one just checks for him, goes a little high, leaving the 4-7. He'll have to move a little bit left, but it's such a grind out here that it's easy to get down on yourself, but these players are so elite, and it's almost more mental than anything. And once you can just click a little mentally, all of a sudden the strikes can start flowing, and obviously Matt did that. So it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish.
Right. Covers the spare there, and so Maldonado could take advantage of that spare frame. And he does with a strike. Maldonado, it's fun. He has that little hop at the end of his delivery, and he tells us that when he's teaching, he doesn't teach that. He's like, don't do what I do.
Yeah, I remember when Maldi actually tried to get rid of that hop, because you see it and you're like, oh, whoa, that's not the same Maldi we're used to. And it actually tried to get rid of it because we're always trying to make changes out here, trying to get better. But unfortunately, he didn't have the results he wanted to with making that change. Went back to the hop. He's been kind of cruising ever since.
Oh. And guess what? The hands are up again. He left the 5-pin.
This is risky business here, man. He better stop playing with his 5-pin. You see the ball comes up light here, leaving basically the bucket. Pins crumble, only leaving the 5-pin. Little smile there. He knows. And just got a little fast with his speed on that one.
That's helping him out. He's got his hand in the air. And he picks it up. And he keeps a smile on his face. That's good to stay lighthearted. So now in the 8th, Ogle in a little bit of a hole here after that spare. Got it. And so you see the match scores, 268, 269. Ogle 1 pin back because of what just happened there. And he's calling for a re-rack on that left lane.
Great shot here by Matt. About 20 at the arrows, ball's driving through the pins. That's what he's going to be looking for all day. As they migrate left, they want their ball to keep driving through the pins. And if it doesn't do that, they're going to be looking to maybe make some hand positions or ball changes. But I think the players are going to be very aggressive with their moves today because they know a lot of the games, especially early, are going to be like this. Very high scoring, a lot of strikes. And if you're Matt right here, you're really looking to strike here in the 9th because you're thinking Maldi is for sure going to strike out and you got to keep the pressure on him.
Ogle gets the strike. And you can tell he's getting fired up. He knows he's got to keep the pressure on. That 1 pin difference right now between the two.
Yeah, that one a little in down lane, but it holds. And he likes it. Again, these players created a little hold, little hook. That's why they have a little bit of room today. Maldi answers beautifully in the 9th. And he holds his fate here. If he strikes out, all 3 in the 10th, 269, the game's over. Maldi, all he's focusing on here, 1 shot at a time. As we can see, the 6 just snapping the 10 just enough here. And this is what you want as a professional player. You want the ball in your hand. You want to be able to have your own fate, control your own fate. Maldi, this first one, huge.
And he gets a strike. You mentioned this oil pattern. We could see big numbers. Well, right now, potentially a 268 to a 269 in the first match.
Yeah, these guys needed to bring their striking shoes today, especially with the players coming up. We got EJ Tacket in the next match, so you know that one's going to be a high-scoring affair as well. And Maldi, this one's huge. Strike right here, puts him in the 260s.
Oh, God.
Oh, he leaves the 4-pin.
Yeah, he knows that wasn't his best right there. Pretty big miss left there. Pretty fortunate also just to leave a 4-pin. Now, this spare is very big.
Very big. That pin. He needs that pin.
He's going high, leaving the 4-pin. Needs to hook a little bit.
Oh,
my God.
Man, that was close. So 258.
Wow, just barely. I don't even know if the ball hit it. That might have been the wind going by.
So right now, Ogle needs 2 strikes and a pin. 2 strikes and 1 pin, but he has to have 2 strikes to start here.
Yeah, that was huge. If Maldi misses that, Ogle would not have to double, but now he does. Huge shot for Ogle, being tested early in this first match.
And he strikes. 1 more strike, and it'll be Ogle that will face EJ Tacket. Strike and a pin moves him on. And he's asking for his second re-rack. Let's go Ogle.
Yeah, right now you're just trying to get the heart rate down a little bit, take a little bit more time. It's easy for the adrenaline to go. It's easy to get really excited, but in order to perform at your best, you got to stay calm. And that's why he's electing to take this re-rack, take a little bit more time, settle down. Huge shot here for Ogle to win match number 1.
He's got to strike. He has to strike. He struck! Ogle just has to hit a pin, and he advances out of this 5-4 first rung of the Stepladder Finals. And he's going to grab another ball.
Yeah, even though he just needs a pin, the match is locked up, just needs to stay behind the line. He's going to try another ball here. Get a little bit of a different look. Like I said, these guys are going to make a lot of changes today in their equipment. Just try to stay ahead of the transition.
Matt Ogle does it. A 268 will defeat Sean Maldonado, and he will advance to match number 2 with E.J. Tacket. So, Matt Ogle makes the first move, and he will take on the 3rd seed in E.J. Tacket. And speaking of E.J. Tacket, he is also a part of the Born to Bowl superstars that are going to be highlighted every Monday night at 9 p.m. on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. So E.J. Tacket and Kyle Troup is also one of the stars of Born to Bowl. We're going to talk with, yes, Kyle Troup when we return.
Bowling is such a unique sport.
Who do you think you are? I am!
I'm the Bob Ross of bowling.
You gotta pick the hair out.
These guys,
they're trying to just make a living.
Dollar.
Got some W-2s. Too bad the money didn't equal the W-2s.
There's only one greatest of all time.
One more for the win.
He's gonna get punched in the face.
And we are now joined by the Bob Ross of bowling. Kyle Troup joins us from his home, and obviously we would have hoped that you would have been here, but you've had a huge week building up to right now and what we look forward to tomorrow night. Talk a little bit about being a part of this documentary where it started with the premiere on Monday.
Yeah, so obviously it's an awesome opportunity just to be involved with the documentary. They've been working on this very hard for the last 2 years. And to finally see it all come together, we had a great trip in New York City for the premiere. It was very surreal. And, just seeing everybody happy, we're all in one place. All the work put together is coming out tomorrow. I couldn't be more excited, Rick.
And this is a very much inside look at what you guys do on a daily basis from home to at the alley. Actually, let's take a look at a clip from this first show of you as a part of it.
So I do love some Sudoku. That was the trick. My mental game was calm and relaxed.
So when he doesn't use his phone, doesn't worry about who's bowling around him and what they're bowling, he does fine.
I was comfortable. I knew how the oil patterns on the lanes were transitioning. Go to the last game, and I knew it was gonna be close.
Okay, Kyle, you said in there the mental game is so important. How about here in 2026? How's the mental game been going for you?
The mental game's been getting a lot better, Rick. Obviously, the first 2 weeks, I had a rough start physically and mentally. Kind of felt like I was falling back down some of the same holes I did last year. But the last 2 weeks have been a lot better. I would guess probably 100 games in 11 days between the last 2 events. Helped my physical game out. And then mentally, seeing this premiere and just thinking about a few things, made some mental decisions to just be a better version of myself mentally. And I'd say we're putting more pieces to the puzzle together the last few weeks. So looking forward to a strong finish to 2026.
And we're looking forward to coming up this week, Indiana. That's a place where you won back in 2024. Hey, thanks for joining us, Kyle.
Thank you, Rick. See you guys.
All right, again, Born to Bowl, that is going to air tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. You won't want to miss it. And you definitely won't want to miss our next match. That's right, 4-time Player of the Year is up next. E.J. Tacket is going to take on Matt Ogle. And we're going to keep jamming here with DJ James Jackson in the house. '25 has been a great year for E.J. Tacket. 4 trophies. The U.S. Open was his second career U.S. Open title. Then he went on to win the Pete Weber Missouri Classic. That was his 25th career title, the PBA Shark Championship. Was able to defend his 2024 title, and then the PBA World Championship. That was his second major title of the year. And of course, the 3rd in a row as far as Player of the Year, and 4th overall. We're ready for match number 2 at the Groupon PBA Illinois Classic. Groupon helping people discover and save big on great local experiences and things to do. Match number 2 has Matt Ogle up against E.J. Tacket. And let's have E.J. introduce himself right before he bowls. How about we'll wait until he bowls and we'll have him introduce himself. But Ogle is going to go first. He'll start on that left lane. Now, does Ogle have an advantage because he knows what these lanes do?
Yeah, I think so. These lanes are going to transition so fast, so quick with all this power, all these power players on this show, that he has a better feel for what happens. So if EJ can get settled in early, he's going to be fine. But Ogle has a really good idea of what these lanes are doing.
And Ogle starts with a strike this time. And here's E.J. Tacket.
I'm E.J. Tacket, 4-time PBA Player of the Year, and I'm ready to take down everyone on the show today.
I like that attitude. I guess when you're number 1 in the world, you can kind of...
You can have a little confidence, yeah.
Yes, you can. And he'll start with a strike. When E.J. Tacket walks into the building, when you guys are getting ready to start, do you all just kind of think, well, okay, number 1's here?
Yeah, I hope his back's hurting. I hope like he has a blister on his thumb. I hope something's happening. Great opening shot by EJ here. Looks like he's settled in. It looks like he's not as far left as I thought he was going to be. We watched him bowl in practice. As you can see, starting with a Venom shock, symmetrical benchmark ball for EJ.
And he strikes on the left lane as well.
Yeah, we watched him end practice, and he was probably about 7 boards deeper than that at the arrows, and he had a little hang spot, and he was really trying to throw a big hook and open his angles up. He actually moved his feet and target right. He's about 18 at the arrows now, keeping his angles a little bit more in front of him. And these players can do that because these lanes are a little more forgiving today, so they can kind of get away with playing different parts of the lane. Now, Ogle here looking to stay neck and neck with EJ.
And he strikes in his second frame. Real life action, real calls, real consequences. It's all on Police 24/7. You can catch an all new episode this Wednesday at 8/7 Central right here on the CW. Ogle, his tour rep that has been helping him all week and is here with him, Greg Ostrander. And the 10-pin. 10-pin stays for Ogle.
You can see that ball got a little wide there, just coming right behind the head pin, leaving a bit of a flat ringing 10 somewhere in the middle. Needs a spare this here. Hasn't shot at many spares today yet.
Hasn't had to, but they use a different ball for spares. A straighter ball. That was close.
Good thing that hooked a little bit at the end there.
So he picks up the spare. EJ Tacket coming back out. Now there's a little bit of an opening here. We see how Tacket got here. Again, being one of the top 8, he had a bye in the round 24, defeated Barnes and then David Kroll to get to be the number 3 seed here today. And to get into bowling, EJ Tacket actually had to step away from golf. More on that. Here's Taryn.
Yeah, it was actually his first passion, his first love. In fact, when he was younger, he qualified for some big junior events like Junior PGA, U.S. Junior Amateur. And the year that he played in the U.S. Junior Amateur, Jordan Spieth was the defending champion. And he said when he played the Junior PGA, Justin Thomas had set the course record in the first round. So some names you're familiar with. Also the reason EJ moved away and into bowling, Rick.
He said one day he was watching Jordan Spieth on the range, and every single shot he hit perfectly. And he said, I don't know if I've got that game in me. But EJ is a +1 handicap golfer, and he'll also leave the 10-pin.
Yeah, I've watched EJ hit a golf ball, and it's pretty darn impressive. EJ here, just a little flat 10. You can see the 6-pin just lays in the gutter there. It's supposed to smack the 10 there, but doesn't. Spare here to stay clean.
He will.
When it's an easier pattern like this, Rick, the players should have a fairly simple time of getting to the pocket, but it's going to be a matter of who can get those corner pins out. You see both players leaving 10 pins there. That's going to be adjustments with their hand, adjustments with their speed to try to get the ball to hook a little bit different into the pocket. So whoever can control those little adjustments today and still be able to string strikes is going to have the most success.
Here's Ogle in the 4th.
And he got the strike.
Didn't like him initially.
Yeah, you heard him say it had to lay there. And we saw the players in practice throw some urethane down the middle of the lane, throw some plastic balls. What that does is stretch. I didn't love it, but that gave the players a little bit of hold. So when they miss left, the ball just holds its line to the pocket, 10 back. And as a player, throwing a shot like that and still getting 10 down lets you relax a little bit.
So both players have a spare. And the messenger picks up the 10.
Oh man, still got it.
Take a look at the Groupon rollback replay. And again, the messenger here and delivers.
Yeah, he looked like he got a little up the back with that one. Didn't quite get his hand in the right place. Got a great break there. The messenger connecting. Now EJ.
That Groupon is where you can discover and roll back costs on great local experiences, services, and things to do. So you can get out and do more locally at an unbeatable value, as we see Tacket. Tacket is probably the fastest bowler on the tour, and so that's why you heard the ball hit the lane before we could get to him.
It's unbelievable how, and when you bowl next to this guy, it's unbelievable the pace he does. And this guy, he bowls more games than everybody else. He makes every cut, all the TV shows. He's always doing stuff outside of our tournaments and bowling for charities and pro-ams. I mean, he's always bowling.
And he gets a strike there. So as they stand, 279 for both bowlers if they strike out. That's the hardware they're looking for. Right now, it's Tacket versus Ogle. Who will advance?
I'm EJ Tacket, and you're watching PBA Championship Sunday on the CW.
Big smile on his face, and he's a fan favorite. A lot of people around the country, a lot of people around the world like EJ Tacket. As a matter of fact, we had an Instagram poll Who do you want to see face Simson in the championship match? Well, EJ Tacket was the, well, he was a huge favorite at 65% of everybody who voted wanted to see him. And yeah, even James Jackson, DJ James, saying, let's go. Let's see who has the better game here between Ogle and Tacket. Right now, we're tied up, both with the possibility of a max of 279. Again, that first game, 268 to 258, Ogle won.
Yeah, Matt, it's been perfect on this lane so far. Looking to continue his streak.
Oh, solid head pin. Leaves the 310.
The jinx is in. I knew that was happening.
Are you calling it? You don't have to take credit for that.
We can see big miss in here after the commercial break, leaving the 310.
For a right-hander, how difficult is this to pick up?
I mean, very, unless you're Patrick Dabrowski to win a U.S. Open.
Oh, and he missed that 3-pin. An open frame for Ogle.
Rack Tony, please.
Wants to get back in it mentally. Again, Rick Allen, Kyle Sherman, and Taryn Hatcher with you.
Yeah, big mistake there out of Ogle out of commercial break. With the scores being so high, open frames kill you even more than normal. He knows he needs a strike here to get back on track.
Got to focus. Got to get back into it. Does he? He does. And probably a big sigh of relief there that all 10 pins went down for him there. Now EJ Tacket, who is one of the most competitive humans on the planet, he sees blood in the water. And he sees an opportunity, and he wants to do everything he can to make Matt Ogle think that there is no chance he can win this match. And he leaves the 10-pin.
Good shot there by EJ, and you're absolutely right. He knew that one means a little bit more to just keep the foot on the pedal. As you can see, the 6 just wraps right around the 10-pin there. You can see he wanted that one. And again, these players are going to be able to get to the pocket, but it's about carrying and who can get that 10-pin out today.
And he picks up the spare. Lane Talk takes care of all the statistics for us here that you see. If you want to take your bowling to the next level, head to lanetalk.com. So the second spare for EJ Tacket. He'll do a little talking to himself. And he'll strike.
What a shot there by EJ, just to keep his lead. He knows if he strikes there, again, he can't be shut out. And this pattern may be high scoring, and I don't want to downplay that this pattern is easy by any means. It's very tricky, but these players are so good that they can make a pattern like this that would be difficult for every amateur player seem easy.
And they have been able to do it all week. The numbers that we have seen. And the messenger takes the 10 out. Ogle has the double. He gets back a little bit of momentum. And he will have to strike here in the 9th again if he wants to put enough pressure on EJ Tacket, which, by the way, I think EJ Tacket might handle pressure better than anyone.
Yeah, that shot was huge for Ogle just to stay in the match.
and he's doing all he can do. His ball is kind of laboring down lane. It's not going through the pins as well as it was early, especially in match 1. So he's giving it all he can here to try to knock down 10 pins.
And a lot better strike there for Ogle.
Yeah, much more convincing. You heard him say work for it, and that's all he can do right now. All he can do is throw strikes and make EJ earn it. Now EJ's stepping up in the 9th frame. Needs a strike right here to continue to control his own destiny.
And so EJ gets the strike in the 9th. Now he'll need a strike 9 to be able to close out Matt Ogle.
Look at EJ's form here. Right around 18 at the arrows, electing to go a little bit more speed, keeping his hand right behind the ball. Amazing shot there.
Trust it, buddy.
You can hear him say trusting it. Again, this pattern really was all about trust. If you threw it good and you got it clean off your hand, you can get to the pocket all day. If you were a little grabby, all of a sudden this became much more difficult. Now EJ needs a strike right here, keep his lead.
And he got it. 9 pins will shut out Matt Ogle and have EJ take one step closer. Santu Tahvanainen waiting in the wings. He will be the next competitor. And if 9 pins go down for EJ Tacket, it will be him that will face Santu. Big breath there before he rolls, and he gets the strike. Tacket will win match number 2.
Thank you. You too, brother. Good job.
Looks like EJ's going to try another ball here in the fill, and Rick, that's dangerous. When you have a player of EJ's caliber start talking to himself a little bit, starting to get settled in, and then he makes shots like that early, that's dangerous for anyone that's going to be facing him. Now, this is a ball change just to see what this one does. A little cleaner option.
Thanks, pal.
And then
you heard EJ Tacket say take your time. They know it's over, so Ogle's going to finish out the 10th frame here. Nothing he can do as he leaves that 10 pin once again. Can't catch
You guys can talk if you want.
EJ
Okay.
Tacket. You hear him say, you can talk if you want. And the fans that are in attendance here greatly appreciate what they have already seen out of Matt Ogle. And so enjoying themselves as EJ Tacket goes one rung up the step ladder, and he will face Santu Tahvanainen, last year's winner of the Illinois Classic. Can he defend that title? He's got to stop the #1 player in the world before he'll have to meet Simson at the end.
And welcome to the Go Bowling halftime show. I'll bet you didn't know Decatur, Illinois is the actual birthplace of the world-famous Chicago Bears. Originally, the team was known as the Decatur Staleys, named for manufacturing magnate A.E. Staley, whose former home, now a museum, has an exhibit dedicated to a team that only existed 2 years before moving to Chicago in 1921. Still, the Staleys have 4 members in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, including legendary player and head coach George Halas.
And we are back inside of Victory Lanes here in Decatur, Illinois, and what a crowd. It's a great crowd. I want to take a look at the frame of the game brought to you by, by Progressive Insurance. We're going to look at that in just a second, but we have EJ Tacket, obviously best bowler in the world right now. And maybe Ogle faltered a little bit. Was that because of pressure, possibly?
You know, when they're so high scoring like this, you don't have a lot of chances. You know, when you miss, they don't give you a lot of room to get back in the match, especially when you're facing four-time player of the year, EJ Tacket.
All right, so we mentioned a little bit about the frame of the game. We want to go back to that, the progressive frame of the game. And that was just the last frame, the 10th frame. This is brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Yeah, EJ here needing basically a double to lock out Ogle, throws the first one, pures it, and then absolutely pures the second one. I mean, that's dangerous for anyone that's going to be facing EJ here, especially Santu in the next match.
All right, so we've got Tahvanainen, and he obviously has won this event before, but it's the only event he's won. So does that put a lot more pressure on him going up against EJ?
You know, I think it gives him confidence. I think it gives him confidence to know that he's done this before and he can do it. So he doesn't need to prove to himself that he can win. He won this event before, and especially last night, beating fellow Finnish bowler Tomas, a guy who's kind of had his number before.
Yep.
All the confidence in the world going in Santu's favor. He just needs to bowl his game and stay out of his own way.
So if he stays kind of relaxed and maybe under the radar, then he'll probably be pretty good, like if he was taking a selfie with some fans?
I think so, yeah.
Well, that's what he was doing. So Santu is having some fun with this situation. He's the #2 seed. Can he take down EJ Tacket and get to that title match? Match number 3 is coming up next, right here on the CW. February last year, the PBA Illinois Classic set Bolero Vernon Hills the #1 seed and 2022 PBA Rookie of the Year. Santu Tahvanainen defeated Chris Vai in the championship match. Two-handed powerhouse won his first career PBA Tour title. Became only the 3rd Finnish bowler in history to do so. Let's hear from that bowler. Stand by with Taryn.
All right, so Santu already told me off camera he's upset because he's wearing the same shirt as last year, but it could be lucky, Santu. What is it? You're a defending champ here. You've got quite the crowd with signs over there. What is it about Illinois that seems to work so well for a Finn?
I don't even know. Fans are here. Fans are great here, so maybe it's that part. I don't know.
How are you feeling coming into this one?
Really good.
There you go, guys. Feels really good, and he looks like a champion. He looks like last year's champion, because he is, and in the same shirt. Thank you for the time, Santu.
Thank you.
And we're calling him the Lion because of that mane of hair he's got going there. But the 2 seed, Santu Tahvanainen, taking on the 3 seed EJ Tacket. And Tahvanainen was the higher seed, so he gets to determine who goes first. And he has decided that he will take that honor. He'll start on the left lane and bowl his first frame.
Yeah, interesting here. Meaning Santu is going to finish the match, so he'll have to throw it for the win if needed. So he must really like this right lane over the left lane.
And he strikes to start off with.
Yeah, Santu, probably the biggest hook ball, most powerful bowling ball thrown on the PBA Tour. And you're going to see it here when his ball hits the pocket. As you can see, extremely strong. When his ball hits the 1-3, the pins just do things that other people's bowling balls don't do.
So now Tacket will start on the right lane. And a split. So the 4-6 split for EJ Tacket. You kind of see that grimace.
Yeah, it looked like this ball going right through the face, leaving the 4-6. Without a little bit of luck and a pin bouncing out the spare, it's pretty much impossible. First time he's left this spare all week.
And an open frame for EJ Tacket.
No, Rick, it didn't look like that bad of a shot. I think he's starting to see a little bit of transition there. Looked like the ball just hooked on him. He might have grabbed it a little bit, but paid the ultimate price, leaving the 4-6. And you can see immediately going to a ball change here. After leaving the 4-6 was throwing a Venom shock, now going to a Black Venom. It looks like this has a little shinier cover. This should be a cleaner option for EJ.
And he strikes on that left lane. Was that the ball that he threw in the 10th frame, that very last ball?
Yeah. Good find there, Rick. That was the fill ball choice that he did, and that's why we throw different balls in fill balls. So when you need to make an adjustment, you kind of already have an idea. This ball goes a little bit longer, gets through the friction, and absolutely drives through the pins. That's exactly what EJ was looking for in that shot. Now Santu, a real chance to step up here and take an early lead on EJ.
And he'll leave the 7-pin. You look at the 525 rev rate for Santu. You mentioned he's got one of the most powerful balls in bowling.
Yeah, leaving a wrap 7 here. You know, he's one of those guys, when his ball hits the pocket, you wonder how any pin can be standing, but it did. 7-pin, needs to clean it up, and he does. And that's one thing is a key to Santu's match. If this match gets into more of a shot making, we got to pick a few spares. In the past, Santu isn't known for being the greatest spare picker, so if he can stay clean today, that's going to be a huge advantage for him. Electing to throw the Black Venom. Now this ball is an early, smooth, solid, reactive ball. It's asymmetric. It's built for control. Let's see what Santu can do.
Oh my goodness! The 10's going to stay up. The 6 hit it.
It did.
It's not hard enough.
Yeah. This is the mega wrap 10. A little bit of a bad break there, and Santu needing to stay clean.
And he'll pick up that spare. And so now, Tacket sees a little bit of an opening here, because he does have the possibility, if he strikes out, to have a higher max score. But he's still got to get back in the groove. The last time he was on this lane wasn't in the groove.
Right, Rick. So he needs to make a little adjustment here, and he needs to see his ball do the right thing right now.
Didn't trust it.
Leads the 2-pin this time. Didn't trust it, he said.
Yeah, when you're not sure what your bowling ball is going to do, even great players like EJ are going to start to make errant shots, because you can hear him say he doesn't trust that the bowling ball is going to react the way he wants it to react. So that leads to poor execution.
Tuesday, NXT on the CW. Mosey's on down to Houston for a Texas-sized night of nonstop action featuring 2 women's championship matches in a steel cage. You won't want to miss this. WWE NXT Tuesday at 8/7 Central right here on the CW. AJ's probably mad enough he could be in a steel cage match after that open frame to start with. And strikes back on the left lane.
Yeah, what's really interesting right now with EJ is we're known for him having the power, the big hook ball, to be able to get left of everybody and just overpower the lanes. Well, you can't do that against Santu. So seeing a guy like Santu being so far left and EJ having to move back right on the lane is a really interesting dynamic that's going on right now. And they're actually throwing the same exact bowling ball. It looks like Santu's has a little bit more surface on it. EJ's has a little more polish. It's shiny.
A big strike there for Santu. Remember, the winner of this match faces Anthony Simonson. So Simo's waiting in the wings. Take on whoever wins this match. And you look at the disparity, the discrepancy, I guess, between these two in the fact that this is Santu's 5th TV appearance. Well, EJ Tacket has been on TV 78 times. As Santu gets that strike there, but the pressure has to play more on Santu right now than it does on EJ.
Yeah, it has to. That's why it's important for Santu to do all the little things right now, to stay out of his own way, pick his spares, and make good shots. Great double here to put the pressure back on EJ. Now, EJ having trouble on this right lane. Opened in the first shot. Last shot, he got it right. Looking to stay in the pocket right here.
Does he trust it? Another split. to the 2-8-10 for Tacket.
Yeah, this lane, Rick, has been tighter all week. I talked to the ball reps, and this particular lane, down lane, has been tighter. So you saw a lot of this. Your ball would hook on the left lane, and you would come back on the right lane, and it would do something like this, leave a split. So EJ's not understanding, and it's not really comprehending. This is what bowlers have to go through. You know, he thought he threw a better shot there. He might have got a little quick, but the ball's just not quite reading down lane the way he wants it to, thus leaving the 2-8-10.
Second open of the game for Tacket. Very uncharacteristic of EJ, and he is struggling on that right lane.
Yeah, and this is where you just have to reset and understand he still has this left lane. He has a good idea of what it's doing. Even though it's a pair of lanes, each one plays different. So he still has control of this left lane. He still has a good idea, just needs to reset mentally, throw a good shot. And for a 4-time player of the year, he doesn't need anyone telling him that, but he needs to throw a strike right here because Santu is lined up.
And he strikes.
You see EJ there around 15 at the arrows. And Santu is playing a good 7 to 8 boards left of him.
Can Santu take advantage of the opening that we have seen EJ Tacket? He opened the door. Will Santu walk through it? Back in 2024, the Just Fair PBA Indiana Classic Championship lanes in Anderson, Indiana. That was Kyle Troup winning his second title of the 2024 season. Next Sunday on the CW at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, it's the PBA Indiana Classic from David Small's Pro Bowl West in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's right, there's David Small. We're at his event, or his venue today. That's a lot of the folks that are working for him to put on these great events. But this is event, PBA Tour event number 106 for a David Small venue, which really appreciate everything he does for the PBA Tour. And Santu thinks the same. He thinks very highly of David Small. We'll see how he does here on this 6th frame. Again, Tacket, 2 open frames, one in the 1st and one in the 5th. And after the break, he leaves the 10-pin.
Yeah, if you're Santu, you really wanted that one right now. Coming out of commercial break, EJ is giving you a couple chances to have a little lead here, and that would have been a chance to extend that lead. But now, again, needs to do the small things right and clean up his spare right here.
19 out of 20, picking up the 10-pin this week. He gets it that time. Taryn.
Yeah, you mentioned Santu. When I asked him yesterday about winning this event last year and coming back this year, he said, well, it's a David Small bowling alley, and you just know that means it's going to be a great event, bring so many people, great atmosphere. In fact, he said strangers that he recognized that were here to support him last year were in the crowd yesterday supporting him again and told him, we'll be there to support you tomorrow. So I'm sure some of the signs you're seeing out there for Santu are probably those people who have come back again to support him today.
Santu won him over. And on this left lane, he does get the 5 to fall.
Yeah, Santu, he's a man of the people. He's a guy you would walk into the bowling alley, and he'd just come up and talk to you, and you don't even know he's a pro bowler. You just think he's one of the guys, and you can see, wow, 5-pin needs a couple taps there to go down.
Yeah, Santu, we felt the same way.
Gotta trust him. Now,
that's big for Tacket.
This is a huge shot here for EJ. He's having trouble in this right lane, a chance to double and start cutting into that lead.
And deep, and he does it again. The 2-8-10. Back to back on this lane.
Yeah, he's confused right now. I talked to his ball rep during the break. They were going to make an adjustment where he moves his eyes, his target in a little bit to the left so that ball doesn't skate to the right as much, and he tried to keep his hand up the back of the ball, and I think he executed that exactly how he wanted to. It wasn't the right move.
And he's going to try to pick it up.
Oh, that was a good attempt at it. We had a chance.
Yep. He got the 2 and the 10.
I like
he
that
left
one.
the 8.
You could hear EJ said he liked that one. You know, when you're lost on a lane, you have to commit. You only get 10 shots, 12 if you fill out the 10th to make the best ones possible. Now he needs a strike here to just still have some hope.
What is that? What is that lane? Wow. Unbelievable. All right, well, kind of how the week went. 250 or 170.
Picks up the spare. EJ was a part of the premiere of Born to Bowl on Monday, and so it was a long, long day. They were already here. They took a car to St. Louis, flew to New York. We're in New York for the premiere, flew back, got here on Tuesday morning, did not have any practice, and went straight onto the lanes for that second block.
And all the guys that did, they all shot 260.
They did.
I bowled next to Troup, and he shot 269 or 8 the first game. I heard him mention, I might not go to a practice session again.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing what they were able to do, but obviously now, you know, EJ Tacket has put himself in such a hole.
Santu knows he kind of has the match in hand right now. He's going to actually ball change here to a Nebula to give it a look.
And Santu strikes there.
Yeah, you see that ball, it's a little cleaner. I believe it's a pearl, and it stored a little bit more energy, so it drove through the pins a little bit more. So when it decides to go through the pins and get to the pocket, the carry percentage is a little higher based on where Santu's playing right now. And EJ going back to his Venom shock here on this right lane to give it an idea. He's moving in just to see what it would have looked like if he played that line instead. And now what's going through EJ's head is, what if? Yeah. What if I would have played there? What would this match look like?
Decision making at its finest.
Frustrated with himself. He cannot catch Tahvanainen, by the way. So even if he strikes out here, his max will be 185, and Santu has already closed him out. He's going to acknowledge the crowd, though. EJ talked a lot about how important Born to Bowl is for him personally.
Poor decision making.
He talked to us yesterday a lot about leaving this sport better than when he came in. And so he has a lot invested. His life is invested in this sport. When he said poor decision, was that the ball switch?
Yeah, that was just the area of lane. You know, we talked about EJ playing in the beginning. He elected to go a little further right, which was interesting. EJ's normally the guy out hooking everyone, and it worked in his first match, but the second match not so much. And you can see in the 9th and 10th, he moved way in, played where Santu was playing, struck out. Now, for the rest of the ride home until next week starts, he's going to be thinking, man, what if I would have just played there? What if I would have done this? But, you know, that's bowling right there. You have to step up and make decisions. And EJ's bowled great all year. He's kind of, you know, we talked to him, and it's all about riding the wave. The last 3 years, a lot of things have gone EJ's way. And so far this year, he's been bowling great, but hasn't been able to get it done.
So, that third match as Santu Tahvanainen upsetting EJ Tacket, and he will now take on the #1 seed, Anthony Simson. Simson, the mechanic, is coming up next. Born to Bowl, an HBO original 5-part documentary series following the stars of the PBA Tour from A24 and executive producer Ben Stiller. That debuts tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. Matter of fact, let's hear from executive producer Ben Stiller from Monday's premiere in New York City.
I was just so fascinated with this world growing up watching the bowling tour on TV when I was a kid, and also bowling in the movies. There's a certain flair, there's a certain style, quirkiness to the world of bowling. But ultimately, for me, this show is about the sacrifices that these guys have to make to do what they love.
And you see the guys that were at that premiere. EJ definitely doing what he loves. Probably not as happy about what he's about to do right now as he would have been if he would have won. But he is standing by with Taryn Hatcher to talk a little bit about Born to Bowl.
Well, and a trooper, and we thank him for his time. EJ, I know that one didn't go exactly how you wanted it to, so let's move on to something a little happier, a little bit more exciting. I know you're really passionate about this project and what it's going to expose about you and everyone who's out here competing. What do you hope people take away from watching this series?
We really want people to understand, what we go through on a week-to-week basis, day to day, and just learn more about bowling and just become more educated about it. There's a lot in the show that I think is going to help people understand what bowling is truly about.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that people assume when they just watch you guys come out here and knock down some pins versus what actually goes into the week-to-week, month-to-month of competing?
Yeah, I think a lot of novice players don't really understand that there's oil on the lane and different oil patterns and understanding why we have so many different bowling balls. I think there's a lot of education that can be learned about those two things. And once people know about that, I think they'll have a completely different perspective of the game.
Well, and you at home can learn about it streaming on HBO and HBO Max starting tomorrow. EJ, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
And thanks, Taryn. Okay, so our next match, these two guys, maybe we're born to bowl. I mean, as far as Anthony Simonson and we've got Santu taking him on, do you have an advantage one over the other?
I really like Santu's game right now. He's won this tournament last year, and he's overpowering the lanes. But Anthony, the 1 seed last year, and he's a guy that, since he lost last week, you better believe he's thinking that's a little extra fuel to the fire, and he's going to be tough to beat. So he's going to give Santu all he can handle.
All right, Anthony Simonson, the number 1 seed, getting ready to take on Santu, Tahvanainen, and we've got Illinois State, the bowling team here, enjoying a little DJ James Jackson. We'll be back for the title match. It's happening right here for the Illinois Classic. Last week, this man faced one of the most brutal breaks in bowling. Yeah, that's Anthony Simonson. Instead of the strike he needed on his final ball, he got this. But Simo's resilient and determined. Now, just 7 days later, he is the top seed here in Illinois. What will his fate be today? It is the Groupon PBA Illinois Classic. Groupon delivering unbeatable values on fun local experiences. That's what they're fighting for, that trophy right there. And Anthony Simonson has decided that he will bowl first in this final match. He'll start on the left lane. So Simonson versus Tahvanainen. Let's hear from Anthony.
Hi, I'm Anthony Simonson from Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, I'm going to win my 17th PBA title at the PBA Groupon Illinois Classic.
Well, that confidence that we heard out of EJ Tacket sounds like Anthony's got the same confidence. Maybe it'll work for him. He's got one game. High on the head pin, and he's going to lead the 4-pin.
Looks like Simo's choosing to play left. Just like Santu, kind of playing the same area. You can see here, playing right around the 5th arrow,
getting that ball out to about 6, 7, 8 down lane. Now that one went a little bit high. That might be a speed thing, but he might have to move his feet. A couple more left than that.
Spare to start. And Santu. So now, Santu is probably feeling confident. He took down E.J. Tacket. Now he's got Anthony Simson, who has a spare in the first frame.
Talk about 2 opponents you have to go through to win your second title.
And he can't get that 10 to fall. Again, the 6-pin hit it, just not hard enough.
Yeah, that was a ball change that we saw from the last game. He was throwing a Black Venom in the last match. That ball, a Nebula, it's a Pearl reactive ball, meant to be a little cleaner and a little more angular down lane. Now Santu cleaning up the spare nicely.
Let's look between the arrows for these 2 competitors. Pretty close, same age. Years on the tour, quite a bit different. And then, of course, the title, 16, as we heard Anthony Simson say, he's looking for a 17. 5 major titles for Simo.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of these lopsided matchups in the finals, but it doesn't seem to matter.
As far as numbers go, as we see Santu strike on his second frame. When you look at the numbers of the #1 seed this year, 0-3 as far as the #1 seed. Now, a year ago, it was 9-4. It was more lopsided toward that #1 seed, but this year, 0-3 to start off with. And as a matter of fact, last week, Anthony Simson was the #1 seed. So we look at the Storm in the bag.
Simo throwing a Bionic. This ball is a hybrid, symmetrical ball, built for control, versatility.
He'll strike there. Storm is the standard for those who demand the best. We are the Bowlers Company.
So far, in order to win a match, you had to shoot at least 247. So again, high scores today. I don't expect them to stop here in the final match. You can see Simo's road to the final. He got a first-round bye in the round of 24, defeated Brandon Runk 4-0, cruised through that match, and then defeating Bill O'Neill in 4-1. And that match was actually a lot closer, but Simo edging out the Hall of Famer.
And the messenger takes out the 10.
A little love there on the 10 pin.
One thing I'm noticing out of Simo's personality, he looks more comfortable here and got a lot of help right here.
Yeah, you could see the 710 was standing there just for a second, but you know, he's due a couple breaks after last week at the US Open, so let's see if Santu here can match him. You know, with these high scores, bowling against Simo, you need to string strikes early and not fall behind.
And he does just that. So a double now for Santu.
It looks like Santu's actually throwing a different ball on each lane. So on this left lane, he's still throwing the Black Venom. And on the right lane, he's throwing a Nebula. So he's seeing something on the lane here that they're playing different enough that he has to throw 2 different bowling balls.
And he strikes on the left lane as well. Again, it's the Carmen Salvino 43 pattern on both lanes. But as you mentioned, seeing something different to bowl with a different ball.
And this is something Santu does a lot. He sees everyone kind of plays the lanes a little different. Everyone sees the lanes a little different. And Santu does this often, throwing a different ball on each lane when other players are throwing the same ball all the time. So Anthony looking to throw a turkey here, trying to stay even with Santu.
And he strikes. Well, Saturday, the stars of the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series take on one of racing's toughest tests. That's this historic Darlington Raceway. Watch as the drivers will battle the track that's known as Too Tough to Tame. You don't want to miss a second of pure raw racing from Darlington. That's Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific only, right here on the CW.
And Rick, it actually looks like Simo's throwing a bionic on each lane, but it's 2 different bionics.
Oh, no.
Didn't like that from the very beginning, but the result he will like.
Yeah, he said, oh no, but I didn't see a problem with that one.
That'd be shining.
This ball comes up a little high flush, but all 10 in the pit.
He was a little nervous. I talked about his attitude and his personality while he's here. He just really seems to be at home. And one of the reasons could be, I called him the mechanic earlier, he is in heaven when he is behind these lanes and working on the pin setters. And that's what he's been doing all this week. And we see Santu striking there.
It's pretty unbelievable for the professional athlete to be in the back working on machines, but that's where Simo finds peace. And I can't tell you how many times a ball return will break down in practice, and the first guy there is Simo. Like, oh, what's wrong with it? Can I fix this real quick?
Well, he's definitely the mechanic now, as Santu trying to continue to string strikes together. He's got 4 in a row. And he'll make it 5.
We got a match now, Rick. Both of these players seeing the lane, understanding what's going on, and now it's just about shot making. Look at his legs here, giving it a little
extra. Here we go.
Just enough to get that 10 pin out. So now it's about shot making. It's about who can get their hand in the right place, who can carry, knock all 10 down. And both players are dialed in.
We watch him put the fingers in the ball here, and Taryn, when we were talking to him earlier, those fingers weren't so clean, were they?
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt a strike there. My apologies, Rick. But no, when we were interviewing him yesterday, he was talking about working on the machines, and then I looked down, and all of his fingers were covered in oil, like he had just been working on a car or something. I said, when was the last time you actually went behind to work with those pins? He said, oh no, right before I came out to talk to you. And then I was asking about being here. He seemed really comfortable. He seemed like he was in a great mood. And he said, yeah, regardless of what happens in this championship, I'm going to stay on Monday and continue to work on the machines. There's some things I want to tweak. So this is not like a bit. He genuinely loves getting back there, tinkering with things. He's been ordering parts, maybe to the chagrin of David Small's wallet. We don't know. But yeah, he's been back there working on those machines all week, and he loves it.
He actually told David, he said, I'm going to order some parts. It's going to cost about $1,500, maybe $2,000. And he strikes again on the left lane. And David said, okay, no problem. And then Simon got a big grin on his face. He goes, it was actually $3,500. David's like, well, okay.
You see Simo here throwing that different bionic on this lane. It's got a different layout. It's got a little bit more surface. So he likes the overall look of the ball. It's just a little tweak. These players will often have multiple of the same type of bowling ball. Now Santu here getting tested in this match against Anthony, looking to stay with him.
Trying to match him. And he will strike. 6 in a row for Santu. And Finland has been very good when it comes to PBA champions. The Finnish had Mika, Asku, and now Santu. Santu, 1 title to his name. And he strikes again. Now the pressure goes back on Simo. These two going blow for blow.
Yeah, you can see him kind of put his hands down there. He wasn't sure if the 10 was going to kick out, but it did. And this is Simo. This is when Santu is at home. When he can get left and absolutely just rip on it and go after it, getting all the revs he can. That's when he's at his best. And Simo, a man who can do it all, looking to stay with him.
strike again. And they stay even through 8 frames.
Tony, can I have my second one, please?
And Simo wants the re-rack.
What a shot here by Simo. Always steady at the line. I wasn't sure if this one was going to continue, but then it does and drills the 8-pin.
So again, Simo chose to go first. He started on that left lane, which means he'll end on the right lane. So this will be the last time he'll throw on this left lane.
Yeah, huge foundation frame for Simo in the 10th. Strikes here. He can't be locked out.
And he gets the strike. Simo, after a spare to start this game, has struck all the way through the 9th frame.
I mean, what a title match. Both players only missing in the first frame. Simo coming up light here, getting him to mix around. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than this.
I'm going to remind you, if they're tied after 10 frames, we'll go to a roll-off. That's what we were talking about 1 week ago. We'll see if history repeats itself. And another strike. Santu. What a 9th frame, and now he'll go to the final frame. Can he go 3 strikes in this final frame on the left lane? And a reminder, after the show, you can head to PBA social media at PBA Tour for the Go Bowling post-game show presented by AMF. 3 strikes away from putting Simo in the same position he was in a week ago. Oh, he got the strike. He hit the head pin pretty hard there.
Yeah, he gave that one a little extra. The last couple shots, the 10-pin was barely getting out. And a power player like this, when you need one, the tendency is to just rip on a little bit more. The 410 just falling right there. What a break. Oh, he knows he got away with it.
He called for a re-rack too, so take a little break here. Get ready for his second throw here in the 10th frame.
So whatever Santu does,
Simson has to match.
Exactly. At least.
Oh, he leaves the 10-pin. There is an opening, and this is what we saw this a week ago.
We did.
Dombrowski gave Simo an opening as well. Santu knows. He's got to pick this up.
Yeah, big spare here.
And he gets it. So 279.
Great.
2 strikes will win for Simo.
Yeah, Simo's having a little deja vu here, I guess. Back up, stepping up into the 10th.
And he did this last week. He needed 2 strikes and then a 3rd strike. He got the 2 strikes and then had the split 7-10.
Yep.
Lose by 2 pins.
Simo needs 2 strikes to win here. Strike, 9 spare, and we'll have a tie.
There's the strike. 1 more strike, and Simo will get the title. He's been so comfortable.
That was the easy one, Rick. Now this one is for all the money. He chose to finish the match, finish on this right lane, the lane he had more confidence in.
Take the positive is what Anthony Simonson has been thinking mentally in his bowling game. Take the positive. Well, right now he's coming off a strike. He needs 1 more. to win this, the Illinois Classic. Strike to win. He gets it! Anthony Simson has won the 2026 PBA Illinois Classic.
Fantastic bowling, bro. Fantastic bowling. That was a fun one, bro.
What a performance by Simo.
You heard him say that is how you bounce back.
Let's go. This one's sweet, baby. This one's sweet. Woo! Morgan, I love you. Snoop, Martha, obviously Roto Grip, Classic, Kulik, Bowler X, Beck. Biggest shout out to Genesis Neck and Back. I feel great.
All right, hey Taryn, why don't you talk to him now?
Oh my gosh, I can barely hear it over this crowd, Simo. How good did this feel when given the situation that you were put in to win it, to get to close it out?
To bounce back after last week and I made a couple good shots there. I made a couple really good shots here. I made a smart choice, finished on my good lane, and hats off to Santu. I hope I don't have to beat 279 in any more title matches in my career.
What's going through your mind as you're having to finish this one out mentally?
I mean, nothing. Redemption, obviously, sweet. I'm going to enjoy this one. We got more work to do next week.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Title number 17 for Simo. He has now won the 2026 PBA Illinois Classic. And he did it here at Victory Lanes. For Kyle Sherman, Taryn Hatcher, I'm Rick Allen. Thanks for watching from Decatur, Illinois. You've been watching the PBA on the CW.